So last week, Apple announced the iPhone 13 lineup, which includes the iPhone 13 mini. So for anybody wondering if the iPhone 12 mini is still a grab, or should you wait and upgrade to the iPhone 13 mini, this is the video for you. Stay tuned, grab some popcorn, and let's talk about tech. So to get things started, let's talk about the overall design. The iPhone 12 mini shares the same exact design as the iPhone 13 mini, minus the 20% decreased notch. So if you're getting the iPhone 12 just for the design, then you're going to be getting the same thing as an iPhone 13 buyer if you're going for the mini. Both share the 5.42 design, and both have the same exact screen resolution, and both share the same build, aluminum sides and glass backs. Nothing much to say here other than it's an iPhone, and if you're getting an iPhone, you already know the quality is going to be there, and despite the price and the price difference between the Pros and the Minis, either one, you're going to be getting a nice built device. And the only thing that, some people will definitely be curious about is the size. And I mean, the size doesn't affect the quality of the phone. So if you're going for a more aluminum design, or if you're going for a more less heavy design, then this is the phone for you. And the only last thing I would say is, other than the size of the phone being smaller and the build being made of aluminum, you're getting a nice phone, and it's built by Apple, so you know it's meant to last. The next topic I want to cover now is the camera. Now everybody today, we're always taking photos, so the camera is probably one of the most important features. And in the iPhone 13, the new video, the announcement they made, that was one thing that they focused on. And today, if we're talking about the iPhone 12 mini, I want to show you that the camera is a great camera. I'll put pictures up so you guys can see exactly some photos that I've taken, and there's just a bunch of features that you have on this iPhone. It's very versatile. It has a ultra wide lens, it has the portrait mode, it has the regular lens, which that lens, it still takes good photos, but if you ever want to have that ultra wide experience, then you can open up and switch over to the ultra wide lens. Overall, the cameras there's nothing bad to say about them. It's an iPhone, so you know it's going to take good photos. So it's only a 1 year old phone. If you're finding this second-handed on eBay or something, it's definitely worth it if you're going to get it for a good price. And if you're looking for a good camera, then this is definitely the phone that you can be getting. So the cameras overall are perfect for everyday use. If you're looking to be a pro photographer, this is probably not what you're going to be looking at. But if you're looking for an everyday phone that you can take photos for the family, it's definitely preferred, because it's a small phone, it's sleek, and you don't have to worry about a big device coming around, filming people and them feeling a little awkward. It's a perfect phone for somebody who's just trying to take on-the-go pictures and want something that's quality, or something to post on Instagram. So the next big thing that I think is one of the most important things, and why this is the only reason why I didn't like the phone, and that is the battery life. So the battery life, it's not bad, but it could be a lot better. It's 2021, so we are on our phones a lot, and I consider myself a heavier user phone throughout the whole day. So for me, the battery is constantly draining down. I also do Shipt and DoorDash, well, not DoorDash, Uber Eats, apps like that, and those apps, they drain my phone a lot due to the maps and everything. So if I wasn't in my car driving, then it would definitely be a big problem, because the battery just drains really quickly, and that's really a big issue for me. And one of the reasons why I would not recommend this phone, because the battery life is just not there. And the new iPhone 13 mini that was announced, that one is supposed to have about 2 hours better of battery life. So that, if you're looking for a small phone and you want better battery life, then the 12 mini is definitely not the phone for you. I would say go for the 13 mini, wait a couple weeks and just get that, as opposed to buying the 12 mini, which will run you about the same amount of money, unless you're buying it secondhand. But as overall, the battery life is just not there. It's Apple says it lasts about 15 hours, and I've had the phone about 5 months, and it just has not been performing to that statement. For me, at least, it just doesn't last for half the day. It just dies half the day. Sometimes I can make it to like 6 p.m. and it's working, and it's not completely dead. But most of the time, I do have to charge up by 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock as I head to work or something. So battery life is not the best. I would give it a solid 5 out of 10. It's just not something. It's a 50-50. It's a grab. You're either a heavy user or you're not. So if the battery life is an issue for you, I do not recommend this phone. Alright, so the next topic is the display. The display is no slouch. This display is basically the same display they have in the 12, and the 12 Pro Max. Sorry about that. That was just a text that I just got. But this display is no slouch. It's still running OLED XDR. It's an amazing display. You know, if you're going from a Samsung, if you're coming from a nicer ended Android device, then this display, you know, you'll be used to it. It's not AMOLED LED, but it's still a really good display panel that is made by Apple, so you know that they're gonna give you guys the best quality that they can. And you know, there are people that say they should be giving us better quality, but for an iPhone 12 mini, a small phone, I really don't see a problem with it. It's a perfect display for me. And if you're coming from an iPhone XR or iPhone 11, you're definitely going to notice a difference, because those phones have LCD panels and this is an OLED, so the blacks are just there and everything just works great. I'm coming from a XS Max and that phone had a great display, and going over to the iPhone 12 mini, I really cannot tell the difference, and both were just amazing displays. So if you're talking about the display is amazing on this phone. Definitely not going to change anything that you're not used to, or if anything, it's going to be better than what you're used to. So the display, definitely a great reason to consider the phone. But if you're going to consider this phone for the display, and a lot of things I've been saying, they all apply to 13 mini, so minus the battery life. So the display, yes, it's good on this, but it was improved on the 13 mini, and it also gets brighter. So the biggest con on this phone is the brightness, as it's just really dim under sunlight. If you're walking on the street, if you live in New York, if you live in the cities, and walking through the street looking at your phone, you just cannot see nothing, which is just, honestly, that's really disappointing, because you want to be able to at least see your phone a little bit, even if it's in the sun. I know not all phones, like most phones, you can't really see in the sun, but this one just becomes totally black, and it just does not look good. And the new iPhone 13 mini is supposed to have an 800 nits display compared to the 625 on this. So if you're looking for a display and you're constantly outside, then this is, again, not the phone I would recommend for you. Now, the last question is, how long will this phone last? The longevity of it. If you're finding this on the secondhand market and you're buying it for about $400 to $500, then I would say this is a great deal. If you're buying it for anything over $500, I would not recommend this. Save your money, get the 13 mini, or get another phone that is just another iPhone that is not the 12 mini, because the battery life, the display, it's just two things that, yes, they are not deal breakers, but at the same time, for certain people, those are big deal breakers. And if you are constantly on your phone throughout the day, and if you're filming videos on the camera, or if you're just on the go a lot, then this phone is just not for you. And if you're outside a lot, again, it's just not for you. And I live in New York, so when I'm in the city or if I'm on the go, looking at my phone is just always an issue, and I just don't want to deal with that anymore. So that's just one thing I would not like. But longevity wise, software support, I believe this phone will probably last another 5 to 6 years. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. If you have an iPhone mini and you just don't feel like upgrading, then I would say this phone will last you for a long time. And if you like this form factor and you just enjoy the phone because you know you did buy it a year ago, then keep that phone. It will last you and will probably hold its value for a little longer. Right now, the new phones came out, so it did depreciate. But usually when an iPhone comes out, the one from the year before depreciates to a value, but after that, it slowly depreciates. So it's usually that first year where the big, drop is. But then after that, it slowly depreciates. So if you want to hold the phone for another 2 to 3 years, then that would be a great option for you. But if battery life and display are just not there for you, then again, this is not the phone for you. So the last question is, not the last question, but the final verdict is, do I recommend this phone in 2021, in late 2021? Personally, I do not recommend this phone. I do not recommend this phone for a couple reasons, as I stated throughout the video and I've stated a couple times. But the main reason I do not recommend this phone in late 2021 is that the iPhone 13 was just announced. So unless you're getting this on the second-hand market for a good price, which again, I wouldn't even pay $500, not even $400. I would say wait and just get the 13 mini, or wait a little longer until the 12 mini just goes more down in the used market, because right now it's sitting around $600, and if you find it for $500, that's a good deal. But honestly, I don't think it's something that's gonna happen in the next couple months. Maybe in the next year it will go down in value, but as of late 2021, I do not recommend this phone. I would wait for the 13, or just get an iPhone 12 or a regular iPhone that came out last year, or a 12 Pro or a 12 Pro Max, just because this phone's battery is just not there. And a lot of the things I brought up, yes, there are a lot of good things, but there's also those two big things, the display and the battery, which just are deal breakers for certain people today, and for myself. So in conclusion, the iPhone 12 mini is a great phone, but it is just not up to 2021 standards. I would even go far to say that the iPhone XR is probably a better deal for some people, and the iPhone 11. And Apple still sells both of them. I mean, they don't sell the XR, but they do sell the iPhone 11. So if you're looking for a phone that's good with cameras and all of that, I would probably recommend the iPhone 11 over the iPhone 12 mini. And if you want to just pay a little more, go for the 13 mini. But as for the 12 mini, it's not a horrible phone. It's not a bad phone. But due to all the new phones coming out in the used market, it's just not worth it. So thank you guys for watching. My name is Les, and stay tuned for the next videos. Stay tuned to the channel, and let's continue to talk about tech. Take care, guys.
Yo, Les. Yeah. Well, you know that the iPhone 13 coming out, right? Why are you making it? Bro, shut up. Who the freak? Whose number is this? This is my phone? Oh, should I get 13? Yo, what you said? iPhone 13 coming out. Oh, I don't want that, bro. I'm good. Nah, actually, you know what? Yeah, actually, I want that 13. No care.